All of our live LCM Live interviews are brought to you by our friends at Explore Louisiana. So we want to thank them as always. Lieutenant Governor Nunn Gesser and his team do an amazing job promoting our great state. And we're proud to partner with them to provide more awareness and opportunities for all of the Louisiana country music artists. So thank you to those guys. Our guest tonight is a Louisiana songwriter whose life and music are deeply connected to the land, the people, and the experiences who have shaped him. He's a multi-instrumentalist who plays guitar, banjo, dobro, pedal steel, and more. And his songs carry a timeless blend of country, folk, Americana, storytelling. It's a really cool sound. If you haven't heard it, just go check it out after the interview. Don't check it out yet. But along the way, he took on the incredible challenge of hiking the Appalachian Trail. Can't wait to hear more about that. An experience that gave him time to reflect and deepen his perspective on life and songwriting. When he is not making music, he and his wife, Taylor, are raising a family and staying closely connected to rural life in Louisiana, including their work on the family farm. He's released projects like Po' Boy Sessions and Tales of a Northbound Drifter. And earlier this year, he released a brand new album titled It's Been So Long. Please help us welcome Louisiana artist and songwriter James McCann.
Hey, y'all. Man, I'm surprised that's me you're talking about. I was like, man, this guy's going to be good. And then it popped on me.
I hope I got most of that right. You know,
oh, no, you did. You did. You nailed it. I was smiling the whole time during the news. Those were a bunch of wonderful people and friends. And I can't believe, you know, like how I talked about earlier, just how tight we're kind of interwoven in Louisiana. I played steel guitar sitting behind John Foster for the James Burton thing. Bradley Wilson's last single, Lanyap, I was playing steel. And
before you came on the show, you mentioned Kendall Schaefer, and he's in the comments right now. He just said, "What's up, fellas?"
Hey, what's up, Kendall?
What's up, Kendall? How are you, brother?
Yeah, I love playing steel behind him because he plays some good country music and makes the player feel at home. So that's the truth.
No doubt, man. Man, my water just went in the wrong bottle. That is water I'm drinking. Just by
it's not vodka.
Lord have mercy.
Mardi Gras is over, man.
That's right. That's right. That's right, man. Well, dude, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Before we get into music, man, tell us a little bit about your family and just life. You're doing family. You got some produce stuff going and all that. Yeah. So just tell us a little bit about the non-music side of your life.
Yeah. So the non-music side of my life, I guess I'll kind of give the analogy of it's like juggling a bunch of eggs, and you know, you can't keep them all the same height, but you just can't let one completely drop or crack. They might, you know, get out of whack sometimes. But I mean, first and foremost, Taylor and I, you know, it's our marriage, and it's loving the Lord individually. So that we love our church up here in Pineville, and that really was a big driver when we met each other. So I guess life outside of music for us, it's hard to imagine life without music, because me and my wife met playing music. She needed a dobro player on a song called Roots Run Deep. Go check it out and listen to it on YouTube or stream it on Spotify. And her recording engineer said, "Hey, we need like a dobro," and she was like, "What is that?" And her best friend posted a video of me playing a dobro at a cowboy church of all places that I don't even attend. Normally, I was just there for a picking, and went there, and I got a session gig and my wife all in one swoop. So it's pretty awesome. So I mean, daily life for us, I mean, we listen to music. We talk about music all the time. We have a 2.5-year-old named Dottie. That's our little girl. And then now we have a 6-month-old named Levi James. And they watch Buck Owens and Hee Haw and all that. But yeah, I mean, our life outside my daily job, I work for Farm Service Agency, and I love it. I proudly get to serve the public, primarily producers in Louisiana. And right now it's really hard economic times, and there's a lot of good things happening to be able to bridge them over into this next crop year and put seeds in the ground, because it's economically pretty tight right now. So proud of what I do, the farmers I get to serve. And then I come home, and I love my kids. I love my wife, and we have a produce farm as well. And we sell at Alexandria Farmers Market and play gigs. So that's pretty much it. It sounds like a lot, but and it is, but we just try to take it one day at a time.
Nothing wrong with that, man. It sounds like you got a pretty good life over there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We take it slow. We love it.
Well, before we get in here and brag on you a little bit, man, Taylor's a songwriter and a musician as well. So you said you guys met doing music and all that. Give you a few minutes to brag on her
yes.
For a minute.
Yeah, so I mean,
get you a really good graces with her.
Oh yeah. Some credit in the bank.
That's right.
I like that. I need it where I can get it. So
That's right.
I owe her extra right now too, because this past December I actually had a hip surgery. I couldn't drive for 4 weeks, and she fed me, clothed me. I was the third baby in the house, pretty much. Drove me around. So I mean, she was very graceful and patient. But as a musician, Taylor, her strong suit is just she is a writer. She's one of those writers that writes melodies that you wish you could have came up with, and her imagery. If you listen to her songs, like my favorite one of hers is a song called "It Ain't the Same Anymore" about her grandma passing away and Thanksgiving. And I'll never forget this for some reason. She writes lyrics like this. She would say, we sat and watched TV, while their desserts are being cooked and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, what really happened though? Because you're trying to write this in a verse. Like, who was she? And she was like, yeah, she was smoking a cigarette while watching TV. I was like, that's it. That's like the best lyric you could ever write. And she's an incredible writer, an incredible singer. I love singing harmony with my wife. That's probably, family harmony. It's just like, the White family, the Cox family. Like family harmonies are just kind of this blood thing. And she plays guitar well. I think she's even a better piano player, and she doesn't even get to play it much. But, right now is focusing on the kids, playing music when we can. But she is a heck of a writer. I'm really proud of the stuff she's released, and she's got a whole lot more. And I envision we'll be recording pretty soon. But, just trying to fit it.
So you guys collaborate musically often. It's what you do, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, we've been trying to find it ourselves. When I met her, she was doing her own music and was doing really good, and I had my own music. And so, we've been really strategic on the way, like, okay, like what happens if I want to go a jazz route, but you're bluegrass? Like, and so we leave room and space to like explore. If we want to go explore, we can. But right now, I think we're hitting this stride. I think just with produce and raising kids, it's like, you know what? Let's just do some stuff together, because this feels right now. It feels like home. And it's been about 4 years, together and being married, that we finally realized that. But we've played enough live gigs together that I feel like we're kind of like moving in that direction slowly. But I'm excited for the future. You're just finding out who you are as an artist. So
Kendall just popped in the comments, said Taylor and James are so damn good. Pure lyrics, excellent vocals, and the harmonies are crazy good.
Golly, Kendall. Golly. Man, don't turn me red like a tomato up here. I'll drop you the Venmo. I think you said $5.
$5 a comment. That's right.
Yeah, $5 a comment. That's right.
$5 per brag. That's right.
That's right. Thanks, Kendall. Appreciate it, bud.
James gonna be like, wrap this thing up, man.
We gotta go. I'm running out of money.
Oh man. So I understand that Taylor's also related to another Louisiana artist, Kylie Fry. Yeah. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the the Fry family, so my father-in-law, Mr. Matt Fry, which is Taylor's dad, and Mom Sean Fry, there. Actually, Mr. Matt, well, let me say their grandpa was from like Eunice, Mowater area. And so like a lot of Fries live out there, and Cajun country, rice country, Southwest Louisiana, Eunice, Mowater, Iota, that kind of realm. And so, their family started Four Oaks Farm in Morganza. And so they do crawfish, sugarcane, rice. They got it going on really good over there. And they're wonderful people, really humble. But the Fries are very well known in the agricultural world. And yeah, there's Billy's Boudin, and then there's the Boiling Branch with crawfish. So it's pretty neat. But we've actually never collaborated, or I've never or met her or anything like that, because I think it's a different cousin side. I don't know how.
I got you.
But they're all fries and related. But I'm always afraid to find out who I'm cousins with here in DeVille, because you're a little too closely related. I make jokes all the time. Usually my mandolin player, he's incredible. His name is Dennis Stewart. And I'll say, there's a bunch of pools in DeVille. There's a talent pool and there's a gene pool, and one of them's deep and one of them's real shallow. And I said, Dennis is real talented, so the other one's pretty shallow.
I feel you on that, dude. Yeah. Oh man. Well, let's go back to the beginning for you, man. Did you grow up here? Is that where you grew up here in Louisiana?
Yeah, no, I didn't at all. I have a weird story. I grew up in Zachary, Louisiana, which is just north of Baton Rouge, if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
So my grandparents were from DeVille, Louisiana. Really what brought me up here was during COVID. I had just finished my master's in agricultural economics, and wasn't a lot of people hiring. Everybody shut down, and the only place that was hiring was in central Louisiana. And so I just was fresh out of college. I needed a job. It wasn't really I want to do this and let me have 500 interviews. I think it was a good point in my life where I think the Lord was kind of like, hey, like, I provided you an opportunity to provide for your family, grow up and go do it. And since then, I think he's kind of formed me and shaped me. And now I love doing the work that I do, and I get to provide for my family. And I've learned, I don't know where else I would want to live, to be honest. So we're 5 minutes from Catahoula Lake. So anybody that knows me, I really love duck hunting. And so, I can duck hunt before work. I can duck hunt every weekend. I'm 5 minutes from Catahoula Lake, and then there's 60,000 acres of public land, Dewey Wills, right next to us. So I have arguably the best spot in Louisiana to public, duck hunt and deer hunt, and get my kids around that, Larto and Saline, to fish at. So they're connected to the land. And that's what brought us up here. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
No,
nothing wrong with that. So when I was prepping earlier, I messaged you earlier and I said, I wasn't expecting to run across this whenever I was prepping for the show. And I thought one of the most interesting parts in my prep work is that you hiked the Appalachian Trail. Is that you want to take that from there?
I'll try. I mean, it was definitely nothing it wasn't anything of my own doing. I know that. So, I mean, I had graduated from LSU. I feel like when you graduate, it's like a lot of friends disperse and you have to figure out who you are. And really my journey, I didn't plan on that at all. What happened was there was a person that I was dating, and honestly, it was like one of those moments. It was like a good old Country George Jones song just broke my heart. And I was just like, I can't be around Baton Rouge because everything I see just reminds me. And my best friend at the time, I was in a bluegrass folk group called Brothers Bear. And my best friend was hiking the Appalachian Trail, and he was already in Virginia. And he was like, hey man, like, you should come hike with me for a few weeks and like, just get it off your mind. And I was like, you know what? This will be like my graduation gift to myself. I'm just going to go get this like out of my mind, out of my system, go hike. And it kind of like Forrest Gump. It was like, I just kept running, and like, I kept walking. But really, to tell you the truth, I think personally, I had to get in the middle of nowhere for me to realize who I was and who I was in the relationship, like who even God was. I had, once you remove yourself from the place you were raised and your friends and your girlfriend and society, it was like I was walking every day in silence, sometimes with friends, but there was so much silence. And it's like God almost was asking me, like, who do you say that I am? Like, who do you think you are in your life? What's your trajectory? Do you have your head on straight? And, like, I had the time and I had just enough saved up. So I figured I should take this. And so I went from Virginia to Maine, and then flew back down, waited for ice to thaw out, and then went from Virginia to Georgia and finished it that way. So I through hiked it within a year, and I did probably 80% of it within like 4 months. Met some great friends, and I found out a lot about myself, gut checked a whole lot of times. But I mean, there's so much to be said, from hitchhiking to friends you thought you would have never met, to not showering, and I smelled like Subway onions. They said, like, that was like my odor. My dad said when he picked me up from the airport, he could smell me before he saw me. Like it was bad, but definitely a special time, and I want to bring my kids back and show them like Maine and New Hampshire and beautiful places like that we take for granted. But yeah, I don't even. What do you want to know about it? I don't know.
You mentioned the experience taught you a lot about yourself. Are there some specific things that you think that you that you really learned about yourself during that period?
Oh, definitely. I would say the top. So, like, fun fact about me is I grew up an only child, and so like I always, like, my friends were like family to me. Like, if you were my friend in school, you were like my best friend, and like I thought of you as like my brother. And it, like, that sounds good, but it was also building a lot of like codependency on people. Like, I need this. Like, in fact, I realized this. I told you, like, I didn't really realize like that I could do music just by myself. Like, I'd been so codependent in every band. It didn't matter if I was playing banjo or guitar or songwriting or not. Like, I didn't have the belief in myself at all that I could write music and play it like how I wanted to hear it. And so, like, I found out that, like, to be lonely doesn't mean like you have loneliness. It could mean that you're like fulfilled, and like you have God with you, and you have your own mind, and like you're making up your mind. So like, it gave me the sense of agency to really, I think, after like post trail, it allowed me to say, you know what, like, I want to get better at AggieCon, and I'm going to go on a job market. I want a family. I want a wife. I want to get better at Dobro. I didn't learn pedal steel until COVID. So like, all the connections I've made through pedal steel was really because I was locked in a room and we were doing classes online, and I bought a broken pedal steel and started to learn. And like, I think my earliest songs that I wrote kind of around 2015 and 2018, I would have never recorded them if it wasn't for trail, because like I was in a lot of bands where I was almost like I don't know how you say it, the co guy, you know, like I was playing multi-instruments. I might have written the song, but I didn't take any credit for anything. And, you know, it's very freeing now to like, I don't want to be prideful about it. I want to humbly serve, but at the same time, it's nice to be able to say like, I want to say this in a song, and I want it to sound like this, and to go into a studio and accomplish that. So that's kind of the biggest thing for me, was it scratched off a lot of kind of insecurities and codependencies that I never knew that I had, you know.
And it's funny you say that, because I interviewed Colby last week, and they were on the bus, and John Foster jumped on the interview. I don't know if you saw it last week or not, but
no, I didn't get to.
He gave, both of them gave some really great answers, really great interview. But one of the things John said, which really struck me, was he said for so long, I mean, you know, he went on to Idol and did this big run. Now he's played the Grand Ole Opry 11 times, I think. But one of the things he said was early on, he didn't have confidence in himself, but he had confidence in God. He was like, that's the only thing that kept me going. He's like, I didn't have it in myself, but I knew that he could do it. Yeah. And I thought that kind of struck me. So that your answer a second ago, it's funny to see, like, you're a multi-instrumentalist and great player and all of that. And to hear you say, well, I didn't really have that much confidence in myself.
Yes.
It's like, it happens a lot of times, man. And we all struggle with that. And everybody would just assume that, oh yeah, well, that guy's probably got plenty of confidence. He's a great musician.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's two parts. It's like exactly what you said. And then I think the music industry as a whole, I mean, there's a word that I hate that starts with an M, and it's called marketing. And like, it just makes me chill. And it's hard because you have to talk about yourself in today's industry. Like, you got to get in some algorithm. You got to get in front of you got to talk about your next thing. And it's so hard to like marry the idea of like humility and marketing at the same time, much less have the like like the confidence in yourself that you deserve the marketing. It almost like takes kind of a messed up person to just be like, I'm awesome. Listen to me because I'm the best. It's like you might be the only person that can get away with
Will
that.
Ferrell on Talladega Nights.
Yeah. I piss excellence. I mean,
I wake
up. Yeah. I mean, I wake up and I piss excellence. You know, so I mean, I think that I love seeing people, you know, like the people that are humble, just like that God exalt those people. Like that's what Proverbs talks about. It's like, you know, if you build a steady foundation, like when other people speak praise out of their mouth and it's not yours, like it lasts forever. It's not just like this one time thing. And yeah, but anyway, like I think with my music, I really don't know. Like, I love playing instruments just as much as writing. I think writing is just more cathartic and it's a journal for me. But I've loved just getting to see other people create songs and serve them on pedal steel. And I think that's more natural for me because I don't have to market it. You know, you get a call to go serve in this capacity. Like it feels right. I can use my skill set and gift to back you up. But it's really weird just to be like the writer, the singer, the front guy. Cause I get uncomfortable in my singing. You know?
You're talking about that's one of the craziest things about what we've started doing here at Louisiana Country Music, and specifically these Louisiana Country Music live interviews. We didn't really know how it was going to go. Number one, we were just like, let's do it. And we had a vision of what we wanted to accomplish. But one of the coolest things that we keep hearing from our guests and people watching, and it's a lot of other artists watching, is a lot of times it's things that you would never go on video and say, but I get to ask you all these questions. And then all these other artists get to hear you and fans get to hear you. And they're like, man, that was super cool. That's my favorite part is all these artists are like, I never knew that about him. I've known the dude for 10 years. He never told me that. Because there's so many things that you guys don't want to say. But if I ask you, then it's okay. You know, it's really good. But there's so much that we love just getting to hear about and meeting people and all of those things. So it's really cool to do these things. Sharon Jolly says, my ultra talented nephew and his family love to listen to Taylor and him sing.
Oh, thanks, Aunt Sharon. So like that's my aunt. She's not far from me in DeVille, and I gotta owe a lot of the talent in our family. You know, like I'll brag on DeVille, Louisiana, real quick. I grew up. I think a lot of my musical influence, not that you asked, but like I'm just thinking about it, because like I really do owe it to a lot of DeVille, to be honest. I know it sounds really weird. You don't hear DeVille as like this, you know, musical just booming metropolis in Louisiana, but every Christmas or Thanksgiving and Easter, you know, I would come up to my grandparents' house in DeVille, and my uncle Colin, or Uncle Towhead, as we called him, has a pig roasting shed, and he would bring a bunch of people that were just incredible bluegrass musicians. A lot of them were either distant cousins or maybe just friends. And man, that music was just infectious. As a kid, being from Zachary, like near Baton Rouge, I didn't know what to do with a fiddle and a dobro and acoustic guitar in one place. I was like, whoa, like, what is that? Like, I just got out of the truck listening to Eric Clapton's Slow Hand, and then I'm in the middle of this bluegrass jam, and that just got in my ear, and I kept trying to bring it back to Baton Rouge, and it's like I couldn't figure out how to do it because no one knew how to play it. But DeVille is just one of these, I think it's a special place because, you know, Baton Rouge is such I love it. It has a special place in my heart, but cities in general seem to be very distracted, very much TV caught this or TikTok filmed that. And I'm not saying those are bad things inherently, but the art of focusing on like to be good at a banjo or to be good at a fiddle. Like I joked about it earlier, but I would bet that people have less subscriptions of Netflix and Paramount Plus in DeVille than Baton Rouge. And as a result, the culture and the music is so strong. Like you go to a fiddle jam or a bluegrass jam here, and it's like, I feel pretty confident in myself. If we were to go into Baton Rouge in a jam, if I'm on a dobro, a banjo, or a steel guitar, I feel competent. I get here and I can't keep up. And I'm like, hey, can y'all slow it down? Like, please. What are y'all doing? So anyway, that's just a tip of my hat. Thanks, Aunt Sharon.
Yeah, I think you kind of. I was about to ask a second ago, and then let me see. Shang Longoria. This is a YouTube handle, so I'm trying to read. So James is the real deal, a great artist, but an even better man.
Man, Shane, thanks, dude. You are a no good horse. You know that? That's the name of a band. I got to play steel with him some and some church music together. And Shane's a wonderful man and around the Monroe area. But bunch of good musicians, man. I love all of them. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. I was going to ask you, when did music first enter your life?
Golly, man, thank you for like Louisiana country music. Like y'all ask intentional questions. Like you can talk about the weather all day long, but I've never even thought about half of this stuff. So it's
man, I love it, man.
I think when I was 12 years old, I'll back up. I started getting piano lessons. I started getting piano lessons at like 5 or 6 years old, but it was very much like reading sheet music, and I didn't like feel it. It was very mathematical, but I did love it. There was something about it that I liked, and I could express myself. And I think that after that, I went straight to guitar, and I think what was really special about music, particularly, I remember grabbing a guitar around 12 years old. I grabbed a guitar, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I know this sounds really bad, but like if I lived in a subdivision in Zachary, and there's just not a lot to do. And actually, I didn't live too far. There's another great musician you need to check out in Louisiana, Denton Hatcher. Didn't live far from me, but he was much older. And Clay Parker, like, was probably around, but like they were like idols to me, like local scene. I was just like a kid growing up. But I remember grabbing that guitar and thinking, like, even though there's nothing to do here, I could sit in my room forever and play this thing. And like I'm getting every bit of emotion or talking. It was like my sibling, like I joke. I had a dog for 16 years. It was like my brother. I've written about him in a few songs. And as an only child, like my dog really was a lot to me. He was almost, a furry brother. But music to me has been that thing that stayed consistent since I was 12 years old. And that's why it's so special. It's like I can timestamp music, things that I learned, things that like drew me in. I started Dobro around 14 years old. Just kind of heard it in DeVille, but learned it on my own. But that's when I started really, I think, getting into it was like around 12 years old.
So I know you mentioned DeVille and those jams that you remember, but do you remember certain artists or musicians, maybe they weren't even an artist, or, there's some great musicians who you just hear and you're like, man, that guy's awesome. Do you remember any of those who were influential in like your early love for music?
It's really good. For sure. I remember in the truck a lot. My dad was a classic rock fan, classic rock through and through. But when we go to the deer camp, which was in Mississippi, he would always play the acoustic unplugged Eric Clapton live record. And like, I don't know what it was about that specific record and genre, but Eric Clapton, like, everybody knows him for like Cream and rock and roll and stuff, but like Running on Faith and Alberta, there's these songs that are like blues, but kind of country, but acoustic. And I was just, Eric Clapton, I just heard so much that I couldn't help but be influenced, but like only his acoustic side. Truthfully and honestly, like bluegrass jams kind of influenced me, but I didn't know how to play it. Honestly, I didn't get really influenced. I'm going to be a letdown here. I didn't start getting into country music really until like my freshman year of college. Like I think I was like 17 or 18 years old, and I turned on Merle Haggard, and that it was just a deep dive. And then I will say probably the only other artist that kind of bridged that gap for me was I'm a huge cousin of my Meemaw that lived in Arkansas. She needed me to burn her a CD so she could listen to this art. She's like, James, remember the iPod Nanos?
Yeah.
She's like, James, I got an iPod Nano. I don't know how to work it. You got to burn me a CD. Here's the money. Buy the song and make me a CD. And I was like, okay, Mima, what do you want? And these two things that she gave me, I still listen to, I mean, every month. One was a record, The Poet, the Storyteller by Tom T. Hall. That record, Old Dog, Children, Watermelon Wine, I love all that stuff. She particularly on her iPod Nano wanted Faster Horses, Younger Women, Older Whiskey. That's the one she wanted, my grandma. That Tom T. Hall really struck me as the first person that was like, he could tell a song, but he could tell a story, but he didn't have a powerful voice. The song was loud, but it like hit me. Like Old Dogs, Children, Watermelon Wine hit me so hard, but it was the softest song. And I remember that truly being the first time I was like, how did someone impact me that deep? But it wasn't loud, you know, it wasn't
very skilled writer. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it wasn't that, it was crazy. And that just blew me away was Tom T. Hall. I remember that. And the other one was, my mom wanted Lay Lady Lay by Bob Dylan, which is hilarious if you know the lyrics of like, lay lady lay across my big brass bed. I'm like, Mama, I remember her asking me before she always wanted me to sing that to her, and I did. And actually, you know, like a week before she passed, she said, "You think Jesus is okay that I like Lay Lady Lay?" I said, "I think he loves it, Mama." I think but definitely Bob Dylan, Tom T. Hall. Those were the two biggies. College, Merle, and then I found Willie. And I got to be honest, I had to be careful. And you're gonna probably guess this, but like people are like, James, like you sound like Willie Nelson. I've gotten that before, and I tell them like you're gonna laugh, but I've not listened to a Willie Nelson record past 1972 because I don't want to sound like him. I don't. I have deviated septum surgeries and like a tight nostril. I think I just sound like I'm on accident, but I loved Redheaded Stranger record. I loved that Hello Walls era, his Nashville time. But I haven't listened to Stardust ever, which Taylor Naughta gives me heck for. A bunch of people give me heck. They're like, how have you not listened? Those are classics. And I'm like, I can't because people are already saying I'm trying to be that, and I don't want to be like I'm not.
Yeah. Get it out of here. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. I don't want to influence me.
Yeah. But all that it was a long-winded answer, but yeah.
Yeah. All good, man. So what made you want to just keep diving into other instruments?
Man, I think that when I started to write for myself, honestly, in 2018, I released a song called Every Flower. And actually I'll give a Lafayette shout out real quick. And rest in peace to brother Chris Stafford. Chris Stafford played pedal steel on Every Flower. I don't know if it's been 2 or 3 years since he passed away. He was super young, but I mean, like he was ahead of faux filet. I'm going to botch some of these Cajun words, but like in the Lafayette community, if you say that name, people have major reverence and respect for the person that he was and how much he influenced music down there. But what happened was I would write songs and I would say like, this needs a pedal steel or this needs a dobro. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to call a pedal steel player. And I was like, wait, I don't know anyone that plays pedal. And so, you know, I fooled myself into thinking that like, okay, I play guitar, dobro can't be that different. And then once I learned dobro, I was like, okay, well, dobro and pedal steel can't be that different. But that was the biggest lie I ever told myself. Like, pedal steel needs a college course. I love it. And steel players were a tight community. Like, shout out to Stephen Como. He plays with John Foster. You know, like we go back and forth. He was with Parish County Line for a while.
He was on here for a minute last week when they were going. He popped in.
Yeah. So like we Facebook message about tone and amps and nerd out all the time. Mr. Danny Harrell down in Livingston Parish with Clifton Brown and a lot of those people. But yeah, I just think that sometimes there's those instruments that felt like you were designed to like play. Like I can honestly say guitar, I plateaued in high school. Like I haven't gotten much better. Like I've gotten a few more bluegrass licks, But when I grabbed pedal steel and dobro, it was like I could hear what I wanted to play and it would come out naturally. And I think that's what led me towards it. It was like I'm not afraid to pick up other instruments now because there might be something that like I'm intertwined or like wired to emotionally hear and get out easier. And I've found that since starting steel in 2020. I've found that with dobro from an early age that I just listened to so much old country and absorbed it. That was like I could hear it and then kind of just do it. And so I've just kind of drifted towards those things. Yeah.
So whenever you're writing, do different kind of instruments, do they kind of pull you in a different direction whenever you're writing? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. And I wish that I could say yes, but a lot of people do use that as a tool. Like they use like, okay, I'll write on piano today and then I'll write on guitar another day. But for me, I think it's always the opposite. Like I feel like a song is kind of already written and I'm just picking up a pencil. Like I'm not really working hard to find the song because I don't worry. I don't have royalties or anything like that. I'm not working for a publishing company. I'm not trying to crank out 500 songs. I'm just trying to create something that's authentic, that sounds like maybe other people could connect to the same story or like they felt that too. And so like I don't really write a whole lot, but when I do, it's like the pencil's kind of already writing itself. Most of the time it'll be a chorus. And I'll already have a melody in my head. And Taylor's the same way. Like we'll have melodies, we'll be humming it while working, like a chain gang almost. Like we'll be working and have a melody, voice memo, or be in the shower. And I've stepped out of a shower and voice memoed because I didn't want to forget it. Actually, the song "Did She Think of Me?" I wrote that chorus in the shower, voice memoed it, and then a year later, I wrote it in a hotel in Arkansas with the guitar. But I already had the melody and the lyrics there, like, so I don't know, like I take a very kind of like solitary like approach to it. And it's not right or wrong. I just, I feel like you got to live life experience to write songs. So I'm not going to worry about writing songs. I'm going to worry about living the life, and then the songs will come.
It's funny. I was literally just about to ask you because you live a very rural life. You're not off the grid, but I mean, you're in the country, and and you're actually living a lot of what you hear on the radio. And you hear these guys writing this stuff on the radio, and they're not living it. But that's okay too. But do you think that lifestyle actually does that influence the things that you write about?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I would say that for example, Appalachian Trail. Like when I came home from the Appalachian Trail, I had gobs and gobs of voice memos of me out of breath hiking up a mountain singing "Dark Eyed You Go" or like a random melody going on. And so like I just came home and completed what had been started. So like I think Tyler Childers said this once, and it was funny, and I don't agree with everything, but I do love, he said, like, well, I live in a big city. If you're writing country music, you should probably live in the country, like to probably like, get a part of that. And, I respect, you don't always have to stay there. There's a craft. But absolutely, when I came back from trail, it felt like a breeze to write a record. Tales of a Northbound Drifter came out so naturally. It was like I just threw up this emotion and it was there. Like I didn't have to work at it. And then same with like Darling, It's Been So Long, I think just came from like I never really got to let out all the songs that I had in my mind when Taylor and I were dating in early marriage. And then there were songs that I wrote about. For the first time, I did challenge myself on this record to write third person stories of like, this is about a friend that I know and he went through a hard time. And I'm going to write this about him as a friend looking in on it. So that was good, but definitely like, I'm not in any hurry, but I definitely think that like the current situation of, raising a family and times being tight and everybody financially is, I think they work really hard. Everybody's got side hustles these days. Who doesn't? I think that creates songs and generations,
And if you go back, I mean, think what you mentioned Merle earlier, working man blues. If you think about it, we all think well, in so many ways the world is so much different. But then you start going back and you listen to them songs, it's like, man, we're really today's world's really going through a lot of the same things that they went through, that they were singing about back then.
Yeah.
So you start listening really to music and lyrics over generations, you're like, it's really comes down a lot of the same struggles. It just looks different. It's just
different. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that so I've seen you, you know, you're in Natchez, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so like my good friend Clay Parker, he's like a best friend of mine. He and I were talking about that whenever we went and recorded this past record. There's a song called Pick Me Up, and he's like, man, it's just like the old time songs that you would hear, and it's just like cyclical. Like you could have heard it in the 60s or swamp pop era, and it doesn't matter. Like just to say like, pick me up, babe, and bring me back on home. Like you could have said that in 1850 or to a moonshiner or to someone in 2026. Yeah. Thing, like, you know. So I think you're right. Everything is pretty cyclical, and that's what's nice about music is we get the opportunity to talk to both the past and the future with the same human common struggles, but we get to package it different with instruments. And as influences change, you know, we're just standing on the shoulders of giants, of Jones and Hag, or for me, like, you know, Ricky Skaggs, Tom T. Hall, Bob Dylan. Like it's a tall order, but we're just culminations of all we hear, you know.
That's right. So we're at 52 minutes, man. So I don't want to keep you all night, but I do want to talk a little bit about the music before we get out. I always like just getting to know the people better, and then we'll talk a little music too. But I think our following really enjoys getting to know the people too. So that's why I always start out like that. But I do want to talk about the music for sure. So you just released an album recently, but I want to go back a little bit before we talk about that. You released Po' Boy Sessions EP in 2019, quite a few singles after that, and then Tales of a Northbound Drifter in 2023. So from that first release that you did, Po' Boy Sessions in 2019, through that next full album, because singles are different than a full album. And if you're a musician watching this, you know what I mean. What did you learn about yourself as an artist from that first release through those singles to that next album?
Man, I learned how to believe in myself. So the Po' Boy Sessions, actually, it was a friend of mine, Michael Bordelon, who was from Central Louisiana, and he was living in Spanish Town. And he just called me one day, and I don't know if he got a new mic or something like that. He just wanted to test it out. Literally, you can go hear it. If you listen to Southbound on there, the plumber's working, and you can hear a drill go through the wall, like I didn't know that like he was recording or doing a live session. He was just like doing it, I thought, for his purposes to hear a microphone. And so like, you know, like he got it, ran it through tape, and got it warbly, sounding old. And he was like, man, just play Dobro. And I was like, okay, I just played Dobro. And it was just warming up and stuff. And it was pretty cool just because like a week later he sent me the Po' Boy Sessions. And he was like, man, check this out. Like, you want to release it and do like a session thing? And I was like, no, man, like I wasn't recording. Like we're just hanging out. And that's kind of the story of Po' Boy Sessions. Was like, it really wasn't recording. It was just like me practicing and trying a microphone while the plumber was in the house. And
first time I heard that's a story from somebody.
Yeah. No, I don't know many people that probably have that. And so after hearing it though, and him saying like you should release it, I heard a few other people liked it. I mean, I just released it. I didn't think anything of it. And then I just got this confidence. There just was like a very small buzz in Baton Rouge of like, hey man, like, do you hear that like Po' Boy Session thing come out? And like my friend Clay Parker, like keep talking about it. He's like, yeah, man, like you should come open. You should come play this show and that show. And I really started to get people and venues to start like call me for my own writing, which I was not used to. To that point, I was a dobro player, banjo player, dabbled around in steel guitar. I wasn't my own person. you know.
Yeah.
And so Poor Boy session made me believe in myself. And then Michael Bordelon also recorded Tales of a Northbound Drifter. And so we were roommates together in a rent house with a bunch of cockroach issues. And we just left the mics up. I'd come home from school and we recorded it ourselves. You know, I recorded a lot of the instruments myself or just friends on it. I didn't really try to do it professionally or anything like that. I just threw it together, and really talented people. I mean, Louisiana people all over it. Clay was on it, but that's what I learned about myself, was just how to believe, honestly, and how to not think about it. Don't doubt yourself. Just like write it and assume that God put that in you so that other people could hear it, and there's someone else out there that connects to it or that wants to hear it. You know. So.
Tales of a Northbound Drifter. Was that all songs from that hike? Is that where I'm assuming that's where the title came from?
Yeah.
Is that also mostly or all songs that came from that?
That's it. It all came from trail. I started some of them like on the week of before heading up to the trail, but yeah, all that was pretty much when I came back from trail. I was writing full and I couldn't help it. It grabbed me, man. Yeah. So that was all trail, all Appalachian Trail.
That's super cool. That's super cool, man. Well, earlier this year, you released a brand new album called "It's Been So Long." Talk a little bit about that album, how it came to be, and what it means to you.
Yeah, man. So this one really was the wildest group of collection of songs that I've had. I really didn't think of it as an album. If you listen to it, there's like a bluegrass song, a jazz song, a swap pop song. It's kind of genre everywhere, like kind of a John Prine song.
Yeah.
It kind of just goes everywhere. But my intention, I owe a lot of credit to the producer on it, was Pat Lyons, and he's in Nashville. So he's Culture Wall's producer and electric guitar player. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but Instagram, brings a lot of people together. And I originally learned about him because we were like pedal steel community. I just came up like that. And I messaged him. I was like, hey, I have a batch of tunes. I've done records in Louisiana. I like it. I've done projects in Nashville before. But I wanted to get back out of state to make it feel different, and he was like, yeah, man, let's take on this project. I would love to be a part of it, produce it, play on it. And so Pat is good friends with Cactus Moser, which is Winona Judd's husband, and I needed a drummer. And so I got Cactus to drum. So we went up to Winona Judd's house, her home studio up there, and we had a great time, spent 3 days, just did the bass tracks, did it live. And I kind of trusted Pat, and we went back and forth and decided who we wanted on steel. Some great players on it. Billy Contreras, Ricky Skaggs, fiddle players on it. Josh Chilling played for tons of people. Marcus King, Winona Judd, all those people. And Pat just added so much with electric guitar and acoustic with, his stuff. He's produced Cody Jinks, the Culture Wall stuff. He's been around. So it was really neat. It was just a bunch of really talented friends that are humble that came and just played the snot out of their instruments. And we did it with a good budget. And I was really happy about that. But really, it was just, I told them, I don't want to stick to a genre. That was my one thing. I don't want to stick to a genre. I want to play the song. And you said it earlier, wherever the song wants to go, we'll add the instruments on it. So, there was a moment, I think I wanted steel guitar on this jazz song, and he's like, no, mandolin. I was like, okay, but it works out,
Yeah, when I first heard that album, when I came across you and started digging into your stuff, that was the first thing that I had listened to was some of those. And I was like, man, this is sick musically. I'm just listening. I mean, the whole album's great. I'm just listening to that, the music on it. I'm like, man, these guys got something going here. Is there one song on there that really kind of means the most to you or anything like that? Or you just, or not really?
Yeah, they're all so different. It's hard to say. I do think that for some reason, time can be spent means a lot to me. It's not like the most exciting musically, um, but the song "Time Can Be Spent" I wrote when I moved up here, and just I didn't know anybody, like, and it was hard to work in a cubicle. Honestly, I think a lot of people experience that, and I wrote it sitting my first week at the government job in a cubicle. I wrote it down really fast and I came home and played it. And as a reminder to myself that, like, to chase your dreams is to do what you're supposed to be doing right now, like what you can do towards moving towards it. And I think the verse is really about how there's no job that pays me enough to leave my wife while she's sleeping and my kids, but I do it because it's what I'm called to do. And kind of like just a struggle with, like, I have dreams in my heart, but I don't want to let down the responsibility that I have in my life at the same time. And so, like, I think it juxtaposes the balance of, like, how do I be a father? How do I be a husband and lead my family to Christ? How do I do those things, but still pay attention to, like, the artistry that's in me? And how do I still, like, farm and do these other things? And so, like, it's just to admit, like, the confession of struggle. I think everybody has it in some form. So
that's great, man. I'm gonna go listen to it again tonight from a different perspective now.
Yeah.
That's why you always love to hear those stories and everything. You always hear it differently. After you know the story behind something, you'll never hear it the same after that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I agree.
So if somebody's hearing your music for the first time, just a couple more questions, I'll get you out of here, man, before Taylor does come in and get on to both of us.
Okay,
do you know what time it is? And the time just changed. She's gonna be like, do you know what time it is? We lost an hour. Get off of that podcast. If somebody was listening to your music for the first time, where do you think that they should start?
I think Too High is a great place to start. It's just a great kind of, like, it's an influence of sounds of kind of like bluegrass meets Johnny Cash kind of vein. I don't know, but that is my writing style. It's very emotional, first person. Like, I want all these things and I can't have it. I would say start there. Every Flower. Kind of starting my singles, because my singles is like how I learned how to write and how I learned to pay attention to the like, I don't know, what's happening in my heart, my soul. I would say Every Flower, Too High, start there, and then work your way. There's not that many things. I don't know. I don't have that much many things, but I would say start Every Flower, Too High, and then listen to the record. Because I think that projects are stronger than just singles. Like, I can tell you what songs to listen out of it, but some people pick differently, and that's it depends what you like, Yeah,
no doubt. I was just curious what you were going to say on that one. This one might be like one of those little deep, weird questions or something, and but I guess we all do music for different purposes and everything. And we all have, like, different goals, I guess, for why we're doing it. Some people do it for money, some, whatever. But when somebody listens to you, whether it's play or sing or whatever it may be, when somebody listens to you, what do you hope that they take from it?
Oh,
is that a super weird question?
No, not at all. Like, I love it because I've thought about it so many times, like, why am I doing all this? Why am I driving myself crazy? Like, you pay for a record that's X amount of dollars and you know that you're not going to get a return on investment unless you tour it. But I'm a person that doesn't want to tour, so why do I do it? So, like, for me, I define success sharing my gift and what I feel like God has stirred up in me to other people to create that human connection and experience. So, like, if someone is sitting in a chair, I want them to feel like the same experience that I felt or the same feeling that I felt. I want them to partake in that as well. Like I kind of think of it like church. Like if everybody is pumped up and clapping hands because you're talking about the grace of God and like, oh, it's a new day and it's mercy. Like it's the same thing of like we're celebrating this experience in life together. Like the idea that it's rare to just exist on this earth at the same time, like you and I. Like and to be able to celebrate and grieve the same things and experiences and to help each other move a day further in that life and to learn from that experience and to then show one another love in that. Like I think that's my greatest thing is I have sad country songs, but like there's a lot of people that get their hearts broke. Like sometimes crying to sad country songs is the fastest way to heal. Like, things you don't get over, you get through it.
That's right.
So like I want people to feel that, and I want them to feel excited and hopeful on some songs. Sometimes I want them to learn something. I wrote a song called Sugar on the last record. Sugar. I wanted people to learn about sugarcane production because Louisiana, Florida, and Texas are the only 3 states that do it. And I was like, there hasn't been a bluegrass or a country song ever about sugarcane, and it's got to happen. Especially a Louisiana person to do it. So I was, but yeah, I think my version of success, it's not in money. It's just the fact that I'm doing what I feel called to do. And, money is a great byproduct. And I do love it when we're compensated well for our gifts and respected. And I do feel respected for that. But like, ultimately, if I'm doing what I was created to do, then I'm living right, so.
No doubt, man. I love that answer. You mentioned Louisiana, man, so I'll throw this one at you last is, we've already talked about the musicians, the writers, all these. Louisiana's produced so much talent, and it goes way back, man. I mean, way back. What do you think? I mean, I know this is a tough answer, but what are some of the things that you think makes Louisiana artists and musicians so unique?
Oh yeah, man. No, that's great. I don't think that's too deep at all. I think Louisiana, I mean, it's pretty easy to answer like in my line of work, like in agriculture, if you just look, I mean, culture, that word, wherever you are in the state, there's like a different, there's a different atmosphere in every single part. If you go to central Louisiana and north, like we all joke, it's just like Arkansas or it's like Texas in some parts. And that's true, but it's still different. And like people don't think about it in Baton Rouge or Lafayette and New Orleans, but like there's incredible bluegrass players in North Louisiana, all to where I'm from. Shout out to my cousin, Catahoula Drive. They're an incredible bluegrass band. But like, so you have, I think, a culmination that builds itself around like food, around our pass, French. You go to Eunice, Iota, Mowater, like you could hear Cajun music, you could hear Zydeco music, which is 2 very different things. And then New Orleans is just a melting pot of things. And Baton Rouge has been so cool because in history it's been, blues. It's a huge old blues historic place. Buddy Guy, I grew up next to Teddy's Juke Joint in Zachary, if y'all know the historic spot,
Been there. Oh, yeah, I know Teddy's Juke Joint.
Like you can go to Teddy's and hear The Thrill Is Gone 50 times a day.
They're still doing it. They're still
doing it with disco. I love it. I know. And so like, I think that what's special about Louisiana is like you mix the broken French or Creole music or just classic country or bluegrass together, you get this awesome like thing. It's me collaborating with people who do Cajun music, or it's me collaborating with people that, I mean, right now Baton Rouge has a lot of great singer-songwriters. Eric Schmidt, Clay Parker, Denton Hatcher, Ryan Harris. They're like kind of like Towns Van Zandt, Guy Clark, vein stuff. And it's like, man, I think that this state is special because of that. Like not many places has the history that we do, eat the food we do, the language that we do, and all Spanish, French, Creole, we all brought our kind of music down here. And then Irish folk like me, like we brought bluegrass and stuff. So like bluegrass is a mix of all sorts of things. So it's, yeah, man, like I don't know. It's its own brand for sure.
Yeah.
I think we can be proud of that.
We had Amanda Shaw on one of them, and she was talking about, if you listen to bluegrass and you listen to a lot of the old Cajun songs and stuff, she's like, if you really break it all down, they're all singing a lot of the same story, like we mentioned earlier. She's like, they're singing about their struggles and all of that, and she was like, so it's different, but it's really they're singing about their lives and their struggles that they going back to the older generations and stuff. And that's the first time I really thought about that. I'm like, yeah, everybody, all the different groups had their different struggles, but they were singing about them in their own way.
Yep.
And yeah,
so true.
And we just kind of mixed them all up, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I love that, like Louisiana country music, like this is putting a light back on it. Cause like, I think a lot of algorithms could skip over or like just grab, like what's in the mainstream. But a lot of times the mainstream looks a lot alike sometimes, but you start to bury deep down, like in the beginning of the news article, all the people that you were showing play totally different music, but it's all could be country, whatever genre it is, like I think that's what's so unique about us is we create a lot of different music really well,
Yeah, so. No doubt. And it's hard I don't like defining what is country. I'm like, hey, that's cool. Let's do it.
You heard me choking on it. I was like, I don't want to say it because like, I'm not defining country music at all. Yeah. Like it's such a moving target. All I care about is it real? Is it motivated by the heart or by money or by AI or by selfish motives, and I think that people can smell through that, man. Like I think that people can hear like my wife's heart when she writes a song. Like she a lot of times we joke about it, and sometimes it's embarrassing in the moment, but I think it's beautiful that like there's some songs that I know when she starts it, there's no way she's gonna get through it without crying. But that means you wrote the right song. Like that means you did something right, because AI couldn't do that,
Well, just on that before, and I'll let you out, man. We just had this conversation not too long ago, and it's like AI can do a lot, but there's still, and you hit on this too. There's that shared experience. That's where I believe power in this world comes from. When we share experiences together, whether you're in Tiger Stadium and everybody's just there, or you're in a concert with 1,000 lighters in the air, or whatever it may be, or at church, or whatever it is. That's where we connect as humans, and being somewhere and watching that person on the stage just master their craft. A computer can it'll never happen.
No,
it'll never replace music.
No, I think you're exactly right. I think a lot of people predict it sounds like we're on Joe Rogan now, and I like it. But I think a lot of people predict that the world is actually going in like the opposite of AI. Like the algorithm will easily find what is real because there will be so much AI that they're going to look for like family bands, like they're going to look for people in a room harmonizing. Like you just can't fake that stuff. I think you're right. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
It gives me hope at least.
And I don't even have like smoke coming from the room over here, and I'm still having these crazy thoughts. I'm not even smoky room like Joe Rogan.
I know. Oh gosh, that's good.
Well, man, I know you hate the marketing side, but where can people find you if they do want to look you up and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, if you want to find out where we're playing, you could follow me on Facebook, James McCann, or Instagram, James McCann Music. My wife honestly does a lot of better posting than me, Taylor McCann. You can find her on Instagram or Facebook as well. Also, follow us, McCann's Produce. We're coming around a lot of places this summer, and our goal is to have a human experience, share not only our stories through songs and some songs that you grew up with, but also our produce with you. I think our soils in Louisiana, they provide a different taste than anywhere else, and it's neat. I think you could taste different parishes' soils. I promise you can grow the same plant, and different soils will give you different tastes. And so fresh produce, and give you a musical experience, family friendly. Would love to do that. But Mitch Daniels, also want to give a shout out to him. He's starting a cool series called The Heart of Louisiana, and he's trying to get some great artists here together in Central Louisiana and Alexandria. And it's going to be a really neat listening experience. Get to sit down. It's catered. Provide you music and stories, and I think that is an awesome thing for Alexandria, because it definitely needs some love and needs a little TLC. So big shout out and thanks to Mitch Daniels for that. But catch us at Alexandria Embers June 6th. Red Dragon, Baton Rouge June 6th. This will be a big Chris Maxwell shout out. It'll be a fun big day. We're going to give a big farewell to the Red Dragon and all the cool things in it. So you won't want to miss it. That's a lot of history right there. So that'll be pretty fantastic. But
man, I definitely appreciate you coming in and spending a little time on a Monday night with us. And thanks for adjusting from a Tuesday night to a Monday night for us and being accommodating. Yeah. We certainly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll get you. We'll have to connect and get you to a little show over here soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're not about an hour away. We could do that.
Yeah, we'll hook up. We'll hook up soon, man. So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Go take care of those babies and have a good night and try to get some sleep with this new time change and all that good stuff.
That's right. Heard that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
Have a good night.
Have a great night. Thank you, man. Right. Thank you. All right, guys. What a great guy, man. All the people in the comments were saying it. What a great guy. And that just comes across just genuine as can be. And that's one of the best things about the Louisiana country music family is so often we get on here and people are talking about their family and their faith and all of those things. And you hear it almost every week and it's amazing. And I like to get that experience with them. So hope you enjoyed the show tonight. If so, make sure to show up here every Tuesday night at 7:00. And make sure to follow, like, share, comment, and do all those things and help us show the world all the talent in Louisiana country music. Let's see. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. God bless everybody out there, all of our Louisiana folks. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next Tuesday night right here on Louisiana Country Music Live.